Hello, welcome to Pantheon of the Geeks. You join us from unboxing of Star Wars Legion.
Star Wars!
Star
Legion!
Wars!
Yay!
We've had to do the intro about 3 times because Paul couldn't get it.
I can't get it. I can't
He's that
speak.
excited, basically.
So I must apologise. You're probably just going to get gobbledygook from me today, which is kind of normal. But here it is, Star Wars Legion. We've been waiting for this for ages. It's arrived. This is the core box set. This is what we have so far. We are going to unbox this today. We're going to have a look at the models, put them together like we normally do. Hopefully come back again for another video to actually play the game. We have played a couple of demos of this in a couple of different shops.
We have.
It is very good, as far as I can tell, from the demos anyway. And if we enjoy it, that's when we're going to expand out into the rest of the Star Wars releases.
Yes.
And get myself an ATST while I get myself a speeder.
Yeah.
By that you can tell I'm going Empire and Claire's being the rebels. Because she's a rebel.
I am a rebel.
And I'm an evil Sith Lord. But there we go. So, Star Wars Legion.
Yeah.
Proper miniatures battle game from Fantasy Flight Games. If you've never heard of this, I don't know how no one would have ever heard of this because there's so many.
Where have you been living?
I mean, there's so many channels with this on already, but I felt like we should do it because it's new.
Could be like it.
So I didn't want to
And
go
it's
after
Star
it.
Wars, basically.
It's Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I love Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I couldn't just go, oh, everyone else has done it this time. I want to do it as well. So there we go. So there's a picture on the back of the box. Nice models that you get in it. But we don't want to dwell here too long. One thing that is interesting, if you've never had a Fantasy Flights game before, on the back it will tell you which protective sleeves you need to put the cards in, because nearly every single Fantasy Flight game's got cards,
Yeah.
like X-Wing. If you've never played one before, they do little card protectors and they're really good and they're really useful. And they're colour coded. So this is telling us that you need one yellow and one grey. So when you're going to buy them, that's how you buy them basically. The packs are colour coded. I do have a yellow pack somewhere.
We do.
If you've never seen them before, there we go. That's a yellow pack, so it's got a yellow top on, and the other one will have sort of a greyish top. So I've probably got enough of them to do this, but we'll need to go and get some of the other ones.
Yeah.
But here we go. So, still not used to having a Disney logo on things for Star Wars. There it is though. Right. It should be, because Disney and Star Wars relate a lot longer than just. Right, here we go. Turn it back over and see what you're in the box. So, previously on our channel, while this is coming out, you've probably seen like the Imperial Assault videos we've done. And this kind of died off a little bit, because Imperial Assault is a really good game, but I prefer it with a lot of players. And the people we played it with have left.
We have.
Us. Far behind. And the local game club didn't really play a lot of it, so I'm hoping with this we're going to see a lot more. So we have a learn to play with Mr. Vader's Fizzogon. Should give that to Claire.
Okay.
Now, that other thing I took out is just a catalogue. Most Fantasy Flight games have a catalogue in. I'll just tell you some of the upcoming stuff, Arkham, stuff like that. That's all that was, if you're wondering what I threw out the way there. Go look at that later. We have a load of counters. Actually, that's all the counters, isn't it? I was expecting a lot more counters.
Yeah, that's it.
Because normally they're filled with counters. We have some Deces. Now, one of the complaints about this game, and there aren't that many, but one of the main complaints has been that there is not enough Dece in the starter set. You're literally twice as many dice, so you're not having to re-roll and re-roll and re-roll.
We did notice that when we were playing some of the games, didn't we?
Yes, you have to re-roll, and then you're having to remember what you're doing. It would be a lot more elegant if you just had the right amount of dice and then just re-rolled the ones you needed to. And I think it literally is like twice this amount you need. I think it's an oversight, but I can forgive them for the amount of stuff you actually get in here. So those are some of the bases in there. Those 2 bases, the grey ones, will be for the speeders. That large one will be for the Walker, which is the Rebel one. All Rebel bases are in that sort of reddish, corn reddish, and you've got like Mechanicum grey. Once they're painted, obviously it won't matter. I'll call the word to start with. Everything's coming in little baggies, so nothing done screws. That doesn't mean there won't be any flash or any sprue sort of stuff to clean up on it. So those are barricades. bag of barricades. We have the range rulers. There they are. We have those range rulers are for movement. These range rulers are for measuring, shooting, etc. And I think command ranges and stuff like that. There were 4 of these in here, which you fit together. You can paint, do whatever you want with those. Here we have at least some of the parts for the water. Here we have there's 2 speeder bikes. All the other bases. What size are these? I don't know what size they are. I'm curious. So that's the size of one. And off somewhere, I don't have a base. I've got a guy on the base. So that's a 32mm base that Orc's got. That's the size of that base. And that's a Games Workshop 25mm base. So it's between the 2 sizes basically. Just for reference. I wanted to know that, because when I've been picking them up I thought they're not as big as the new Games Workshop bases. We have Skywalker and we have Vader, and we also have random we have a random rebel in there as well. Yeah, just one random rebel. I wonder what that is. Bit odd. There we go. We have here the speeder bike riders, and those are the stands for the speeder bikes. That's another curious thing. So basically they just like they stick on. That's good. That makes sense. We also have a bunch of cards, and this, which is a tray insert. So you've got an insert in there to put all things back. You just don't have an empty box like you do with every other game. You've actually got an insert.
Oh, that's handy.
So those are the large cards that you need the grey ones for. Those are the small cards that you need that size ones for. So at least you can cover them. And I think it is best to protect your cards, because as soon as you start using them, they're going to get messy. There we go. That is the box. That's a nice box. Actually, for storing them in. Right, so let's open this bag. Right, that was the speeders. So, stormtroopers, rebels, stormtroopers, rebels.
You sounded like the was it
rebels.
Robot Chicken?
Stormtrooper.
Yeah. Stormtrooper.
Stormtrooper. Stormtrooper. Stormtrooper. Stormtrooper. Stormtrooper. Stormtroopers. Rebels. Rebels. Stormtroopers with missile launchers. Rebels. Stormtroopers. Weird, why is there a rebel guy in there? That's so strange.
Maybe he's a groupie or something, you know,
maybe
maybe he's...
a little bit. Right, so, Ryan, what should we do? How should we do this? Should we just do it on camera? Or should we skip to, actually, because they're not being de-sprued, we just have little baggies with stuff in. Oh, sorry. Let's have a look at the first one, as is. There he is. At a first glance, guys, you can see that on there. Looks pretty good. I don't really see any lines. Oh, there's one there. No, my imagination. Yeah, he's filing down too much. And then we have the arms for that guy. So there's his blaster rifle. I did see someone take these in and out once before. It's made of a... It's not quite the same as the Imperial Assault plastic, it's harder, but it's still softer than the Games Workshop plastic. So I believe, watch this go horribly wrong on camera while I'm recording, I believe, yeah, there you go. You can literally just bend it into place like that. Technically, you wouldn't need to glue that, but that's how much play you've got in that if you don't glue it. Might be useful for painting, if you wanted to paint the gun separate from the arms. I don't, so I'll be gluing them together. But to put them on the base, you're definitely going to need glue. There's no little tabs or anything that plug into the bases. So I only mentioned that because some people mentioned you didn't need to glue them. You're obviously going to need to glue it to the base. And just for security, I'd glue the arms on. Personally, if you're new to war games, it's kind of a thing all war gamers do: glue things together. I will let you know later whether I've used plastic glue or super glue and which one works. That's going to be a bit of an experiment. So this isn't the same plastic. There we go. But they got together really easy. That's pretty impressive. Alright, well in that case, let's open the next bag and see what that's like. So what do we have here? We have troopers with some sort of Gatling cannon. So get that on there. Yeah, so the fitting for that's not quite as tight on that arm. So again, you're definitely going to want to glue that. But it looks pretty good. And then we've got the backpack, which that is not going to stay on, let's be honest. It goes on there like that. So, yeah, let's find out which glue puts those cards into those covers that
plastic
wallets that we showed before. I've stuck these first 4 together. That doesn't look like it's coming off. Yeah, that's not falling off like it was before, so that glue must be setting. What I've used is the Citadel plastic glue, which in Galactic Basic is polystyrene cement. For any of you guys out there, any kind of polystyrene cement will do. There's a lot of different varieties, all the same stuff really. There's one that comes in a blue tin, blue. Was it Umbral?
Rexel.
Rexel. Yeah, so which is sort of standard hobbyists fixed kits. Works perfectly. This just happens to be a Citadel one because I needed some and I was in Games Workshop. That was that. Just convenience. You can get much cheaper ones that do exactly the same. Just saying, Games Workshop. So these guys seem to have stuck together just fine with that. So let's continue where we left off. How many rebels should there even be? I don't even know for sure.
Let me have a look.
Because I've not actually seen the Gatling guns in use. In the demo boards we had.
It says 33 miniatures and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 of them are the troopers. Then you've got the ATST, is it?
It's a walker, but it's not.
Walker.
It's a mini walker.
Mini walker.
Mini walker.
It's a 14.
To be like that.
14 dudes then.
There he is. 14 dudes.
Yeah. The rebels.
So 2 units of 7 basically.
Yeah.
I think that's the same for the stormtroopers. Because when we've played the demos, these have been in units of 5. There we go.
We played one demo where we didn't use the special weapons, and then in another shop that we had another demo, we actually had the special weapons.
Well, let's rephrase that. You used the special weapons, but even though I had the special weapons, for some reason I wasn't allowed to use them.
That was the one where my stormtroopers
like,
came in
what's
and
this?
beat
Can I not
Vader
use
up.
this? No.
Sorry, beat Luke up.
No, we're not using that for this demo. The rebels aren't allowed to use the... oh, right, okay. Why are the stormtroopers being allowed to fire their... oh, there we go. Why are they being allowed to fire the missile launchers? Oh, they just are. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, and like I said, that was the one where my stormtroopers came in to help Vader and pummeled Luke to death.
They did. Luke was defeated by the butt of a blaster. Oh, this is guys. The Duros guys are a bit funny.
Oh.
Right, so that is a bit bent, that gun. Right, so I'm going to fix that with some warm water. You could fix that with a hairdryer. Any application of heat, but which isn't too severe, is what this will need to just bend that back into place. Let me just check this one before I glue it. I was too busy talking, not thinking. Yeah, these two are going to need to get bent into shape. So I'm going to go away and do that, especially glue that I put on there stupidly set. Okay, so there is the Duro Sky. I think he's the only non-human. Maybe this entire box set, as far as I can tell. There he is. And there's a couple little gaps next to his arms. This guy's gone a bit easier together. And there's a bit of a less gap. I did cut a little bit of the plug off. Just a tiny little sliver. It seems to have gone together a bit better. So I'll bear that in mind as I go forward. Let's go for the next one.
Right, while you're doing that,
Yeah.
I've put all the little cards, so these little upgrade cards, in sleeves. And out of that main pack, that one there, you get 50 in there, and I've actually only used 35. So
Alright, cool.
we've got spares for
Spares.
any other sets that we get.
Does it say in the book how many of the bigger cards there are? I know we don't have the things for them, but
Yes, I think it does actually.
I think they're all 50 packs, I'm not sure.
You've got 8 unit cards,
Yeah.
14 command cards, and 12 battle cards.
Cool.
So that's 34. My math serves me right. So you'd need 34 of the grey ones.
So this guy is the rebel leader, which is why he has a cool coat and there's slightly more pieces. So we've got the legs, let's go onto that tab. And then we have 2 arms. One's holding a pair of binoculars.
What?
Binoculars. I think he's holding them like that. And then he's got the gun sort of pointing upwards, like that. I think, is that right? How does that go? Was the gun's down by his side, isn't it? Yeah, that's more better. That's more better, yes. Good use of English there. So how does the thingy arm go? You wouldn't think I've ever seen these models before, have you? There you go. So those 2 arms are going to go on like that. So yeah, again, these are not going to stay in place, thankfully. So let's glue him together and his friend. So there is one of the leaders. So let's collect a name.
Yeah, I'll have to name them. I'll have to come up with some good names.
There we go. So these are the guys I wasn't allowed to use. So these guys don't exist, so I'm not putting them together. These are the guys with the ion guns. That is an ion gun. It's good for taking out vehicles. And they also have a separate head, these guys. So it's the same thing with the gun, and then the head's going to go on there. So let me make sure that all the sizes for those are right, file them down, and do whatever I need. So we're back with them completely. Okay, so here is the ion gun dude. Apparently good for destroying Imperial armour. I hope not. Let's see what we got here. We have, I think this might be the last. Is there 7 guys in each squad, did you say?
Yes.
7 guys in each squad. So this is the last guy. For the rebels squads. And he's pretty much just shooting down the barrel of a gun though. So we glue him on. Yeah, this guy's just like taking aim. Come on. Fire. I've not seen much in the way of stuff I need to file down on these yet.
Oh, that's good.
Don't want to jinx it or anything, but I have not. There we go. So those are the Rebel soldiers. All that's left to do now is to base them. These are bases. Just grab a couple for now. Back to this guy. Just testing these for size. And there we go. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue these to the bases. Which actually be pretty easy because they're pretty well balanced, so you don't knock them like that. So I'm going to glue these to the bases and put them off camera, and then we can continue. Okay. So, show you, same glue, it's up to the base, no problem. I was worried that there were two different types of plastic for some reason. No, they're not. It's really good. The size is pretty good for the models. See, I've been spoiled now by guys who actually 32mm bases, but these are bigger than the 25. I have to actually measure them to find out exactly how big they are, but they're suitable for the models, definitely. They're nice and clunky as well.
They're quite heavy.
That's one of the things about these. They're thick plastic and they're clunky, and there's a bit of weight behind them.
So they're going to fall over.
It should stop the models from getting knocked over quite as easily as well. Right, next baggie. Now, this guy in here, I haven't opened yet, but I kind of worked out the Rebel guy in here is going to be the driver for the Walker. I think, anyway.
Well, there's a little
handle.
Handle.
So there's him and his handle. There's Skywalker and his lightsaber. And there is Vader. There's another handle for you and a gun for you, by the looks of it. And Vader is 3 parts. Those lightsabers aren't too bad actually. I was worried they'd be a bit bent. Still be with a little bit of persuading back into shape, but need some hot water for that. There's the lightsaber. Sure, I'll ask guys to give me some hot water, but I can just bend that bit. But that's just going to attach by those 2 points there and there. That's Luke done, and yes, there is one more base for him, and then Vader. That's going to go in there by the looks of it. It's a little bit, that's a little bit stiff. Hang on. Let me glue it while we're here. Ramming this in and not be able to get it out again. Right, come on, let's do this. There we go. There he is. And got his arm as well. It should. You got the hole there. It might have been easier to put the arm on first, but this has to wedge into place, so I think this is probably still the better way to do it. And see, it's bendy plastic. Let's put this on. How you doing, though?
Yes, I'm just waiting to get the water.
Do it, it's fine.
You sure?
Here running water, guys, just because the kettle's being filled to boil some water. Bend some things back into place. And that has been persuaded to go in there. His lightsaber's not actually that bad. Actually, it's perfect, almost that. There you go. Just Luke's is a little bit bent. There is Vader. Nice. Let's do this.
Right, I've put the kettle on. So that should be.
I'll brew while you're at it then.
Okay.
See
Anyone
guys,
else want to brew while we're here?
That's how you get a brew made for you. I need to adjust these pieces of plastic. We just spoil some water and I can have a brew at the same time.
Yeah, does anyone else want to brew? Put it in the comments.
Plus how to get it to you. we don't have access to it.
I'll just film 2 cups, 1 tea and 1 coffee.
Yeah. There is Luke, by the way, guys. Well, that's not bad either, but it does need. It's slightly curved, so it kind of looks like he's holding a samurai sword, which is pretty cool in itself, I suppose. But yeah, those 2 guys. Let's put you on ice. What should we do? Or should we put him together? Let's put him together. Come on. Let's do all the rebels. We'll get the big ass base out. So these bases, so the big ones for the walker that we're about to do. Small ones are for the speed bikes. You'll notice there's a little bit cut out. These are the movements. That's pretty loud. Start talking over it. These are the movements. Gauges. And you'll notice that these fit in there like that. Whee! That's how you move them. You also notice they got little notches on. This is how many movement there were. So this is a 3 movement move. And you should, I hope, this doesn't snap on camera. Come on. You know you want to. This is why I normally film everything off camera. I'm being rather excitable today, I think it's caused this. Oh no!
What's that go?
There's like a little lip
Right.
around it, and there we go. So yeah, there's a video I'll show you next one. There we go, that's one of the moving rows. So there's a little lip around the inside of that, and a little catch there. It's just a case of persuading it to go on without snapping those little catches. That's something you really do not want to do. Normally when I say something like that, something goes very wrong. So I've hopefully, by saying that, I've unjinxed myself. But it won't go on, but come on. This is a bit of a pain. You know you want to. You know you want to really. There we go. Took a little bit of persuasion there. And the small one. What? What are you laughing at?
Oh, that's kettle boil. So you took them off it was ready, did you?
Yeah. Thought I might be able to persuade that just by pushing it down. Doesn't really want to. See, if you get every part even and push them down at the same time, you'll be sorted.
Put that there. Sorry.
It's not in brew. It's the hot water. I'm still fighting this. Come on. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, Star Trek. Sorry.
You won't be very good in the crystal
There we
maze,
go.
would you?
Yeah, I've lost that crystal. Sorry, guys. Lost that crystal. Right. Just heat your lightsaber up a little bit, Luke. So Skywalker does not want a bent lightsaber. There we go. That easy. Done. Just be careful you don't put, if you do this, thin piece of plastic, literally it's in the water, out of the water, and then hold it into the shape you want it. If you leave it in too long, it will go all floppy. Words to live by in every aspect of your life. Anyway, moving on. Right, yeah, so those are the range rules. We've kind of put them together randomly. You can see you got a 1, a 2 and a 3. That's just the movement ranges. Which is pretty cool, because you don't have to measure movement, you just use these 3 things. Nice. Okay, who's next? You. Right. So this is the walker. I'm not sure I'll need the instructions or not for this. I think there's some instructions in the book, guys. See, here we have the. Give me the other leg. Come on. Come on, you overgrown chicken. Right. Okay. So there's one leg. Yeah, there is 2 legs. There is the chassis, the seat, so forth. There is the front plate. We have some gizmos, I'm not sure what they are. We have an antennae, and we have 3 weapons. We have the anti-tank gun, I believe. Don't know what it's called yet. How does that attach is the question that I did wonder when I was looking at this model before. I'm not sure. Probably really should look this up. But yeah, we have a anti-tank gun, we have a Gatling gun, And we have a flamethrower, which is pretty awesome.
There you go, there's the instructions for it.
Okay, so you guys can see there are the instructions. So those two things are pistons, they go on the legs, and then we have a choice of 3 weapons. Right. Blur.
Blue.
Blur. Okay. So I just thought there might be like a way to alternate the weapons on there.
No?
So that bit's gonna go on there, I believe. Which creates a hole there. What slot in? No. Right, so I'm back in one second. Okay, so we're back. I've had my brew in my Star Wars mug. Showing my allegiance. So, fun with magnets time. Yay. So what I've done is I found some small magnets. The tiny little things, I can't remember the exact size of these. I need to order some more of these, so when I do order them I will find out what size they are and let you know. But there we go, what we've done, we've got a magnet there and we've got a magnet there. Now if you're not bothered about having multiple options, just stick one of these bad boys in there. I don't stick any of them in there because you don't actually need to have a weapon on this thing, they're all added extras. So what I've done, I've put a small magnet in there and I've cut a little bit of the end off there, the size of 2 magnets. And then, don't film me on camera, like so. There we go. So once that's in place, hopefully that will hold right. I need to test that obviously. In fact, I could do that on camera because I'm a maverick renegade who likes to cock up and live camera. And then look like an idiot. One. There we go. Yay! That's not coming off either. Until you go, think, pull that off. So basically, I haven't done the same with the other weapons yet. I wanted to show you pretty much how much you're cutting off because all these are the same size stems. So you can see there how much I've cut off. It's two sizes of the magnets. You could drill them in, you don't have to cut them, but the magnets are pretty much the same size as a stem, so you're going to need to drill, which isn't going to crack the edges. You could slot a magnet in and then a magnet in there, it's possible. In fact, one of the things I was thinking of with magnets this size was magnetising all the models to the bases and having multiple different bases with different terrains on. It was something that crossed my mind and then flew off into the distance because that's a lot of hard work. And I don't know when I'll be able to get some more of these bases either, that's the other thing. I imagine FFG will make them available on their own, eventually. But there we go. So, let us continue sticking this together. We haven't really started, so let's continue. So that bit on there, I'm not going to glue that on just yet because I want to finish off magnetising things. So we'll leave the front bit off, but you know how that goes on now. We have 2 legs on this guy, and they have like a sort of half moon shape plug, so they only go on one way. Like that, and the other one's going to go on the other side. So let me glue those on. So those are the legs. Now the fiddly bit is these little pistons. They go in this little hole here, which I'm not going to be able to do on camera probably. And then there's another little hole there on either leg. They're 2 slightly different lengths. The shorter side goes on the left hand side and it goes with the smaller part of this piston, so like this. You can see there's a smaller sort of part there and a larger sort of bit there. The larger bit is down, the smaller bit is up, and it goes on like that. So like put that one and the other one in place. We'll be back in a second. So that are the pistons in place. And then that guy should pretty much fit flat onto that base there, like he does. Right, next up we've got the little antennae. Which way does that go and where does it go?
It goes that way, so it goes on that back bit.
Yeah.
And the shortest bit goes to the back.
So it's at an angle.
Yeah.
That's probably about right. So look at the gap you've got on it, and the angle of this.
Yeah.
Because they don't want him to get in the way, really, do they?
The longer one goes kind of like to the back.
Oh, that's far off.
Huh?
Alright. Okay. Voila. Yeah, so the longer one has like a clip, slightly sort of indentation underneath it, which goes down into the hole, while the shorter one is flat and sort of rests on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have it looking like that. So these guys need cutting down like the rest, and I'm going on. So it's just the driver now. So he has a gun himself. So if you didn't want to upgrade it, you can still have a guy wandering around quite quickly with more wounds and a standard blaster. So that's going to go on there. We have this, which is the handlebar, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And we have the other handlebar, which is there. So what we're going to do, we're going to set him in situ, so we can see what he looks like and what angle he's at. Right, so after much struggling, I've sat him on there in the right position. It wasn't that much struggling, I'm overacting though. So we've got him in place. I've glued the arms to him. I have not glued him to the machine. I'm going to leave him to dry in that position because Claire's going to be painting him and she wants to paint the rider separate. It's perfectly acceptable. And it also means we can line up this other handle now on the other side and glue that on and make sure it's sort of at the same angle as the handle he's holding. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. So, do you want me to go into the base?
You can do, yeah. I should be alright.
Glue him onto the base.
Yeah.
Is there any particular angle you have to glue these onto the base? I only ask because these are arcs, aren't they?
They are.
But I'd assume that's the front,
yeah.
or back, and then you've got the other arc there.
I would say like that, to be quite honest, because then you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, what arc you're firing at, don't you then?
Yeah, so that's him done really. I'm not going to glue this on until
you've sorted.
Until I've sorted out the magnets.
Cool.
And I might leave it off so Claire can get in at the gubbins anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's quite a solid connection, that one, so I'll just glue that on at the end, I think. For now, I'll glue him to the base, and then he's on there.
Yay.
And then we shall move on. So let's just move out of the way for now. While we move on to other things. I can do that after the video, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Right, next.
Little baggy.
Who's next? Oh, speeders are over there, aren't they?
Yes.
For gluing super glue, I use army painter glue. I find that better than Games Workshop glue. But honestly, you can use whatever cheapest super glue you can get your hands on, to be honest. There's not much in it with super glue, I'm afraid. God. Right.
Missile launchers.
Missile launchers.
Hey.
Guys kneeling down with missile launchers.
Ooh.
Sweet. To be fair, I don't have a chance to play with these guys. You had these guys in the second demo. Oh, they're awesome.
They are actually. They're very, very good.
They are slightly bent, so that's going to annoy me. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to get them on the model first and then bend them back and ship, because what might happen is when I put them on, it might bend it anyway. No, it doesn't. Yeah, in fact, I'm going to bend them before I put them on the model. So 2 seconds. Okay. So that is the missile launcher. Straightened. Put them on the base at the end. What was that called?
Oh,
on the base at the end. What have we got next? That was embarrassing. So we have stormtroopers, two very close stormtroopers, and these guys are armed with blaster guns. And it looks like these guys are just going to go and clip together. But yeah, they will do. It's just like the rebel troopers, really. Again, not seeing anything on there which I need to take off. Quite impressed by that, actually. I'm actually quite impressed by the quality.
Yeah, they've been quite good actually. Apart from a bit of bending back, where they've probably got squished a little bit, they've been really
Even
good.
that's been better than I thought.
It's not been much, has it, really?
Because some of the Imperial assault ones were worse.
They were actually, yeah.
Oh, and guys, if you're wondering on scale, these are bigger than the Imperial assault ones. They're not compatible scales.
No.
They're not compatible games. That's not necessarily a bad thing, other than the fact you're having to buy and pay more models. But hey ho, that's the sort of curse of the wargamer. So if you're new to wargaming, get used to buying lots of things. It's not a cheap hobby by a long shot. Not that I'm dissing it, I love it. Obviously I've done it for most of my life. There we go. So there's two blasters. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. I'm loving this. I'm like, I want to paint these.
Yep.
I want more of them. I want the entire legion of troops at my disposal.
That's funny because the game's called Legion.
Yes. Okay, so we have two more guys with guns. There we go. There you go. Don't know why I did that, sorry.
That comes with
Pew
sound
pew.
effects, that one. Just
Yeah,
that one.
just that one guy.
Just that one guy comes with sound effects.
Just Gary here. With the sound effect.
Oh, that's his name now forever, Gary.
Gary. His brother Scott.
Okay.
Every one of them's going to have a backstory.
Okay.
It's going to be long and complicated.
There's going to be a Bob in there.
There's always a Bob.
And a Fred.
There's always a Fred.
Jimmy?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. There we go. Some more blasters. What is the other special weapon these guys have? Since I was never allowed to use it.
You're going to keep rubbing that in, aren't you?
Until I get to use them.
There's a DLT-19.
Or is that like a machine gun type?
Yeah.
Gatling
And
gun,
HH-12, which I think is those guys, is it? No?
Is that the
That's the
missile launcher?
missile launchers, yeah. That's it, yeah, a DLT-19. I wonder if the one before that was a BLT.
Damn it. Literally, I was about to say that. And you just got in there and ninja'd that
Psych!
out of my mouth. Damn you. I literally was forming the words. Damn you. Yeah. Oh, there it is. So this is the big blastery thing. Yeah, looks pretty good. And that looks pretty straight as well. Sweet. And these guys have got backpacks which are actually attached. I think it was off camera, we were just discussing. I hope they bring out some like different heavy weapons. Or I don't know what, but you know, different weapon types for the stormtroopers. I know that the snow troopers are getting flamethrowers.
Ooh!
And
Nice.
they're getting I think they get the same thing the rebels have got, the anti-tank ion gun thing.
Yeah.
I think they're getting them, but what I meant was like stormtroopers with those kind of weapons and other different kind of weapons.
That would be good if you could have the weapons interchangeable kind of thing.
But you could do like just a box set of them with the cards as upgrades.
That would be pretty funky actually.
Maybe just an entire squad of heavy weapons. You know, I'm thinking too much like 40k. That's the danger of playing so much 40k. Space Marine heavy weapon squads. Oh, these are really nice. I'm looking forward to painting them. Yeah. So leave in the comments, are you going to be playing Legion? Are you going to be waiting to see if it really sort of kicks off in your area? If you are, which side are you playing?
What would you like to see in the future?
Yeah, what would you like to see him bring out in the future?
What characters?
What characters? See, personally, you know, a lot of people have said that they'd like to see the Clone Wars done. I understand why, because there's a lot of variation in like clone troopers, and you got the Separatists with the different kinds of droid. That'd be pretty cool. Personally, I'd love KOTOR. So I'd like to see Revan. That's it. That's my only request is Revan. After that, I don't care what they do. I'll just play Revan on my own against every other model in the game.
I'll just have Yoda.
Okay.
I'll be quite happy with Yoda. But I would like the guy from Rogue One. I can't remember his name, but the guy that walks out and says, "I am one with the Force is with me."
Now, we were also discussing, I reckon they should do the whole Rogue One
That would be awesome.
as heroes.
Yeah.
And then they could be
A whole box set.
maybe 800 points on their own, and then they just fight like the Dirty Dozen kind of thing against an entire army. That would be pretty awesome. And maybe they infiltrate and the army doesn't know where they are, and maybe there's like night rules, and I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. This guy's the leader for the stormtroopers, just so you know. He's got a little thing over his shoulder, which seems to be denote
A little flap.
officer. Yeah, it even seems to do that in the First Order as well. Seems to be something that's been carried across.
Well, that would be cool. First Order troops.
Yeah, I think we'll see them eventually, and I think we'll
Hopefully later on down the line.
I think we'll probably see clone type stuff, because we've seen some of that in the lore. Anyway, I think we'll see that. I'd love them to go into KOTOR, because you can have a third faction with the Mandalorians. I know you can have scum and villainy type faction in this one, which I do hope to see.
Yeah, that would be
an army of the Hutts. That would be pretty awesome. Not an army of Hutts, that would be very slow and painful.
Yeah.
An army of the Hutts, like bounty hunters and such like, and mercenary troops. That would be pretty cool.
Lots of Bosks.
Lots of Bossk.
Bossk!
Yeah.
I want Bossk!
See, that's something. There's a lot of alien races in Star Wars.
Bossk.
Why do we just have to focus on humans, and why do we just have to have the main ones? Let's have lots of little ones like slavers, the Ocean slavers, and all the other different races.
Yeah. That'd be really cool, actually.
Illustratively, we've got a Duros. 2 Duroses. That's the extent of the aliens in the first box set.
Yeah.
Maybe some of these guys are. I doubt it, because the Empire doesn't really recruit aliens. That's something else that's cool about Revan. He recruited everybody. Didn't care who you were waiting for. Revan's awesome. He's the best. Sorry.
Yoda.
Yoda is alright, okay. Yoda's cool. Yoda's the best from the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, I think from the outside.
Because technically Revan's a legend now.
Yeah.
He's always been a legend, though, in my opinion.
Legend.
He's always been a legend, in my
He's a legend.
But there we go. So both are the stormtroopers. Yes.
What happened there?
Put my hand over my mouth. Those are the stormtroopers! Stormtroopers, correct? Yes. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. So, what we have left, I've actually put the magnets on these last time. It was, what we have left are possibly my favourite model of the entire set.
Yeah.
The speeder bikes. I like these models. I've always liked the speeder bikes, even when it was like when I was a kid and they had the old Kenner type.
Oh one. Yeah, the one that you pressed the backpack and it kind of blew apart.
It exploded. So there's lots of bits for this.
Got one of them upstairs somewhere, I think.
In fact, what I might do, I might zoom the camera in a little bit. Okay, here we are. The speeder bikes, the last of the models in the box, and so far, everything's been really easy to put together. These look a little bit more complicated, a little bit more. There's a few more little things on these. So each of the speeder bikes, I think, is identical itself. It's just the riders that are different. Another thing to note: these stems, they have like a little groove cut out, so like a half moon shape kind of thing. And these are going to go in here. So I would not stick these to your bases until you've got the orientation of the bike correct, because it matters in this game that there's going to be a front and a rear rack, so it's going to have to be stuck on like that. So don't go sticking these on until you know where you are with your bikes. And in fact, I wouldn't go sticking these on until you've painted the bikes, because you want these to remain clear. and we're not going to be jamming them in there. Okay, so right, we have the back of the speeder bike first, which is this little clip here, and that goes on which way around? Like that. All looks good to me. Is that on? Is that the right way? Actually quite hard to tell from the picture which way is the right way. That looks like the right way to me. So you've got it so it's down like that. Let's pass that to Claire so she can tell.
See.
Otherwise it leaves a gap. So I'd say that's correct.
I think given the fact that it doesn't show the back of it,
I think that's right.
yeah.
Because that's the only way it doesn't leave a gap. So it's how they're going on. Throwing caution to the wind, let's get it in place. There we go. We'll do the same with the other one while we're here. Okay. You're going to get a lot more of me singing on this than normal. Sorry. I do this when I stick things together. Right.
No, you don't. It's just generally this box set that you've just got really excited about.
I'm very excited about this. What is my entire life? Okay, right. Let's leave that to dry. So look at the riders for a second, because the riders are pretty much like the other guys. This guy's got a head which needs to go on. Flink. And he's sort of looking backwards a bit over his shoulder because he's shooting backwards. That's pretty cool. Does it say which one of these guys is the squad leader, by the way? That's something I was wondering.
Yes, the guy that's got his hands on the levers.
The guy's leaning forward.
Yeah, leaning forward.
He's the leader.
He's the leader. The guy that's shooting behind is it just says speeder bike. So the one that's being really cautious and driving correctly.
Which I might be putting the wrong things on here. So one of them, let's weigh this up now, is going to be leaning forward, isn't he?
Yeah.
So that. Yeah, so the handle's going to go in there, which we're not going to glue in because should I glue it in? I mean, I'm not sure on where. Yeah, I'm going to glue it in. Because you could leave these off and then you can paint them separately. That's what I'm thinking. But I always like a challenge, so I might just glue them in place.
Okay.
But for now, until I've decided, until we get to the end of this, let's just see if it's possible not to glue them in place. Because these are quite bendy still. Should be able to get away with it. Like that. So yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw a guy who was painting them that didn't do that had them so he could take them off and then painted them.
Yeah, I think we can do that. There we go. So we know those fit in place, and we also know that this guy must have this arm. Let's put that on there. Actually, let's get the other bike because I want to make sure that we're in the right position. Like that. That also means we can position, like we did with the walker, we can position the other handle on there. So this is what we'll glue on. Just let me have a closer look at that off the camera for a second. Make sure we're lining all this up correctly. It's a bit difficult when you're doing it from a bit of a distance. There we go. So, I'll take him off. Right, so we've got all this MacGuffin underneath now that we need to have a look at. is that right on the handle, or has that been bent? That's like because it's a weird angle, isn't it? Then again, if he's just taking his hand off the steering wheel, as such, can we see that bit anywhere? Yeah, I think that's meant to be straighter, according to the picture. Yeah, so that's a bit bent out of shape. So what I'm going to do, we're going to get some more water. I'm going to bend that into shape so it's straight. Definitely looks like it should be. Yeah, so I'm going to do that now. Okay, so I've just attached this guy onto here and show you how to fit these on, the best way to put these on. If you're gluing this guy on, not a problem, you'll like this anyway. If you leave him off, best put him back on, because there's a little groove here on there, you can see it on the camera. The pedals will fit into, boom, go flying off into the distance. Claire's going to retrieve that. Pedals will fit on there and then attach to the feet like that. So what you have to do is you have to attach this guy and then attach that on there. Probably hold it upside down. Make sure you get it central so the pedals are in the right place. Come on, get in the right place. Kind of like that. Okay. I'm going to do this on the other one and I'm going to let them dry fully before we do the next bit. Okay, so now that's on, we will fix this part of whatever engine bit this is. That is going to fit into this side here, like that. There's a little bit that goes in there, and there's a bit that fits on there, like so. So put those bits on, and then we'll stick on the guns underneath, which go into that little half moon there. Little pew pews go on there. So we'll stick that on, and then we're back once they're dry. Okay, so you can see those parts on there now. The last bits for the bike are these front, I don't know, are they fins?
They're like a fin, aren't
Steering fins or whatever they're meant to be.
Paddles.
So that's the interior side with the little notch in there. The two little notches on here, and they just fit on one on either side. On there, and then one on the other side there. So we'll just put them on and I'll be back when that's done. Okay, so I just stuck the bases in. I've not stuck these on, I've just put the bases into the bottom just so I could hold it a bit easier without anything falling off and show you that. So that's what the speeder bike looks like so far. There's one last bit to do, which is this little bit of like tarpaulin packaging, sort of, what's the word I'm looking for?
I think it's like a blanket, isn't it? It's like the little picnic.
Yeah, a little camel blanket, whatever it is. That just fits on there. I suppose it's optional. I'm going to stick them on because they look cool.
It looks like they've gone out for a picnic then.
I'm going to stick those on as well. And then what I'm going to do, I'm not going to stick the stem into the base, but what I am going to do is stick the stem to this. So I can use this to line it up, so know where it goes, stick that on, and then I'll be able to take that off the painting, and then when I put it together at the end I can either stick it on or... It's actually got pretty solid connection, that's pretty deep hole, and because it's like a moon shaped thing, it's staying in really easy. I might not even glue them on in the end, but I do need to glue these bits onto here, and you've got to make sure that you've got that at the back and not the front. It's either way, but you've got to have the little gaps at the back and the front. The measuring gaps, yeah. Because you've got the front and the back arc. So you need to do that. So what I'm going to do is stick that on there, stick these to there, and then I'll be back once Speeders. They're awesome, but fiddly in places. If you're sticking the actual bikers onto the bike straight away, it's not as fiddly because you can line up these pedals that they've got. But they kept falling off the whole time I was doing that. But other than that, everything was pretty straightforward. Obviously the dudes are like 2 or 3 pieces each. That's it. The only other thing to put together was the dial, which is just a standard sort of FFG dial thing. Same as every other dial in X-Wing and even Fallout. It's the same sort of dials. So that's it. That's the only thing you put together. Everything else is done. And there you have it. That's the set together. The models look awesome.
One thing I will say in the book
Yeah.
is on page 28, it gives you a bit of assembly, like advanced assembly.
Like a little bit
so
of a
basically
hobby
what
thing.
you've been saying.
So cutting it off and
Yeah.
getting rid of any flash, gluing it. It does say super glue in here. You could just stick them together with super glue. It's that kind of plastic where
I've
it would
also
work.
got spraying and painting.
And spray, and I think it's army paint and stuff.
It is actually. You can quite clearly tell in the spray. It says army paint, and then that's it.
Yeah, this is the range ruler as well. It comes in pieces like that, and like so, and this one like that. And I think I'm going to leave it like that. You could glue it together so it was sturdy, but it's quite useful to be able to pull it apart, especially for storage.
Yeah, you just have to be very careful that you didn't knock it and snap it.
Yeah. But if you leave it in pieces, I mean, you could still snap it if you glued it.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
that's true, yeah.
It could still happen. So I think it's actually safer to leave in pieces. So there we go. That is the ruler. That is the set. There's a lot of cool models in there.
A lot of...
Just some model, it's a good value set actually. So we're talking about this, whether to get the extra stuff that's come out as well. But basically what's come out, we've got a Trooper Squad, bikes, the ATSTRT, whatever it is, we'll figure out what it is. These guys.
ATRT.
ATRT. That's 4 boxes. And about, I think they come about 20, depends on where you buy them from, about 20, 23 quid a box, something like that.
Between 20 and 23.
That's just for 1 squad, 2 squad, 3 and 4. That's like buying the box set again anyway.
Yeah.
And you get the barricades, which are a separate thing coming out later, so you get another 8 of them. If you bought 2 lots of boxes, right, this is the theory, you're getting double the troops, which has paid for it, and you get like 2 extra squads as well. And you're getting 2 extra characters. You can only use 1 of each, but you know, you'd have an extra one if you wanted to make
a Sparkly Ghost.
A Sparkly Ghost version, especially now after The Last Jedi. Or you could have them like in a diorama, so you can use them for something. But those are the only 2 models you wouldn't be able to use again. But you get duplicates of everything. So you have 2 of these, 2 squadrons of these, 4 lots of troops for your army. You'd have 2 lots of barricades, so you wouldn't have to buy them separate. You'd have 2 lots of rulers, 2 lots of measurers, 2 lots of tokens, and most importantly, enough dice. Yeah. This is only half the amount of dice that you need. So if you bought 2 core sets, you'd have all the dice you need, and they're like £12 English or $12. I can't remember which one it was on the site. They're like $12. So if you don't want 2 sets, you're gonna have to buy a set of dice. Point blank. If you don't want to buy 2 sets, your first purchase should be another set of dice, and then you're not going to be faffing around with dice, I think. So once I started adding, I want dice, I'm probably going to want another set of measuring sticks, and then I'm probably going to want at least 1 more troop each. By that point, it was like, I'll just buy another set.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we've weighed it all up and we've seen it.
It's worth it because the only other things that are different are the speeder. The T-47 speeder, is it?
I think it
is.
The
snow speeder, in other words.
I don't think that's come out, or it isn't coming out.
It is out.
Is it out?
It's out with it.
I must have missed
and
that.
so is the ATST. Those are the other 2 things that came out. Those are the 2 things we don't have. Next month, I think we're going to get them. And another set of this. I think we're going to get 2 sets. Then we'll have massive armies. Because when I was looking through the Learn to Play book, this, or half of this should we say, isn't a complete army by a long shot. And you need at least 3 troop units in an army for it to be legal. And there's only 2 in this. So you need at least 1 more Stormtrooper and 1 more Rebel Trooper to make it a legal army. So at that point you've bought half a box set. Maybe that's what FFG are trying to encourage you to do, buy 2 core sets. It makes it look more popular, who cares. It's a good deal for the models that's in it. And obviously then you get your dice, enough dice. That's the one big flaw of this, they didn't give you enough dice, I think. I think that's what it means. But I think they've been very generous with the models.
Yeah.
So it's like...
But I found that even with the other sets that we've got, like Armada and X-Wing.
You need more dice. Yeah,
you need
you're
to
right.
buy the extra pack of dice.
You do feel like you do, and we did.
And we did. But if you just buy the core sets again, there's a lack of dice, so it does push you to buy that other little pack of dice.
Oh, this is the first time we've considered buying 2 core sets of anything.
It is.
But this is the first proper, what I would say, miniatures game. I know X-Wing is a very good game. I know I love them both. But with the being pre-painted models, and to me, they're not a proper game. Even though they are. I know, everyone's going to go, well, they're a proper game tournaments, and they're very good. But to me, this 28mm sort of 40k is where it's at. I love Battlefleet Gothic and Armada as much as anyone else, but to me this is where the money makes.
I think what sold it for you is the miniatures.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's an army building game as well.
Yes.
That you can play it with the core set, or you can buy add-ons, like you've said, you can buy an extra Stormtrooper set or Rebels set, and it makes it into a legal army. So if you're going into tournaments or you're playing against people, it is like having a 40k battle, except in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, you're quite right. So we're going to get more onto building armies. We'll go through we can build armies for this. We're going to paint the models, obviously, because that's what we do. Probably just following what I did with the Imperial Assault models for the Stormtroopers and such like. And then we'll play some games, basically. We'll play some games with this set, and then hopefully when we double up, because if you pass me the book, you've got a Learn to Play scenario in the Learn to Play book, which is great, which is there. Which is the demo game we've pretty much played twice. It's a good game. It's a very good game to start off because it teaches you a lot of rules, but there are more rules that are included than in that. And I'm just going to flip through this. There we go. The standard battle setup is near in the back. So if you have a good look at that, you can see pretty much at the top there are 3 AT-RTs at the top of this page, and there are 3 squads of speeder bikes on there. That's the first thing, and then you've got 4 squads of stormtroopers and 4 squads of rebels, and your commander each. So that is basically 2 sets plus another set of bikes and plus another one of these RTSTs
To play a full fledged
to play
battle.
So in essence, if we get another core set and get the ATST and the speeder bike and the speeder craft, the T-47 one, in essence we should have enough points and probably a bit left over to have a full army. So that was what my reasoning was. It's cheaper to buy another core set, which is cool. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So we're going to go away now and read the rules, reread the rules, because I have had a brief look at them before we got this in the demo games. So I'm going to reread them, make sure, see what I've missed, and then are we going to paint them first or play a game first? What do you reckon?
I'm not sure.
It's going to take a while to paint them, I suppose.
It is. We could play maybe the basic starter game.
We could play the basic starter game for you guys. Put in the comments. I'm not sure where we're going to do straight away or not. We might do. Put in the comments what you want to see us do. And that's it really. So thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. I've enjoyed. I'm going to enjoy even more reading through the Robot Day and get ready to play a couple of games. But please like and subscribe, it helps out loads. Put in the comments what you'd like to see and the things we've mentioned in the video. And you guys have a good day. Take care. May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
See you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.